Today Nation. Banks run out of old, new Naira notes to pay customers. Sanwo-Olu leaves Akere market victims with 100 million Naira. Governorship battle hots up in Lagos and Oyo. Food petrol prices raise inflation to 21.91%, while Nigerian Air may not fly before May 29th. Okay, major headline, you have that?
Yes, I have that. So, you know, just 3 days after the Central Bank of Nigeria declared that the old 1,500 and 200 Naira notes as legal tender will still continue to be legal tender, the deposit money banks are saying that they are basically running out of cash. Right. There's still a lot of hardship. People are still finding it very difficult to access the Naira notes. Some banks had claimed that they have not received new notes or the old notes from the CBN, and they are not even sure if the CBN is going to be giving them these notes. Some are saying that probably because of the elections, they will not want, the CBN may not want to, you know, have people have a lot of cash to avoid votes buying. And that's, if they release a lot of money into the system again, it will take us back from the progress they had already made from taking cash from people. We're still trying as much as possible to work on the cashless policy. Right. So right now, banks are basically crowded. People are not able to access even the old notes. You know, I said it that day that this, whether the old notes become legal tender or not, we will not have availability of the cash or not. Yes, we won't have it because most of the notes have been taken out by the CBN, and that's what we are facing right now.
I have my own thoughts on why they took out the cash. I don't think it's cashless policy. I'll share it after the show.
All right, so Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has donated 100 million naira to the Akere Motor Parts and Allied Dealership Association in Ajegunle. If you recall, he had visited a week ago when the incident happened. He came back again to say that he's serious about ensuring that the rebuilding starts immediately to alleviate the plight of the traders who lost their goods in cash, and he gave them cash in the fire. Also said that this isn't politics, it's just a conscience that happened during the political season. He's happy to be there to lay the foundation for the new market building. And now it's a story building and a small compensation that would alleviate the sufferings and loss of the traders' goods that were lost during the fire. It's for them to make a clear stand that that is not about ethnic or religious division, but a government that is a people-oriented and people-centered to make things better for them. So that's why he made sure that that happened as soon as possible. Any other story important?
Yes, so the Ministry of Aviation has said that the Nigerian Air, sorry, will not be able to take off before this government goes out before they leave office, because they have three problems. They have to scale three fundamental hurdles. The first one is to secure aircrafts, which is what is, to me, that's the most important.
Yeah.
And then the second is to hire technical personnel, and then they get the all-important air operator certificate before they can take off.
That means you did it. You don't have
yes, no. But I thought they were almost done with the process.
I wanted to read why they couldn't take off, you know.
And unfortunately,
wow.
They don't have nothing.
The last time I read this story was that they were waiting for a particular license. They had sorted out all of this, but now...
all right,
they don't have planes. Yes. How do you want to have aircraft
airline without any plane? Wow. So the governorship election...
Please, let's be optimistic.
We are optimistic.
The governorship battle is heating up. We definitely know that there are 28 states that will be contesting, having their governorship seats being contested for either by incumbent or new people. So, but the hotspots are Lagos and Oyo. The two candidates are, for Lagos State, a major big wig, a former aspirant for PDP, that's Adedosumu, defected to APC yesterday at the Marina State House, and it was a funfair saying that he feels that PDP doesn't have the structure to provide solutions in Lagos, and he's coming to APC and declaring his support for Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The Oyo State counterpart to Makinde also had a mega rally in Oyo State, while the person contesting against him from the APC, I'm trying to get Teslim Folarin, also they're getting people endorsing. It's going to be the elections between Lagos and Oyo there are people are feeling like this can go anyway because there's a lot of, there are strong parties contending, and we're hoping for the best for the citizens of both states.
The Punch. New Naira pains persist despite fresh CBN orders. Nigeria rejoins UN peacekeeping missions after 10 years of exit. Election poster, Lagos summons principal for punishing people. FG shifts census to May. Afenifere leader congratulates Tinubu, endorses Sanwo-Olu. Fuel consumption hit 80 million daily. Private sector blames Naira crisis for inflation surge. Party warns INEC against BVAS problems repeat. So Nigeria has rejoined, let me take the story with the UN. Nigeria has rejoined the United Nations peacekeeping operations after pulling out due to insurgency ravaging the country. If you recall, back in 2013, we had withdrawn our troops' missions in Mali and Sudan to beef up security at home. However, a statement on Wednesday by the acting head of mission and force commander of the United Nations, Major General Benjamin Sawyer, said Nigeria was inducted back into the United Nations peacekeeping mission on March 15, 2023, and that Nigeria returns to the UN peacekeeping operations after years of absence as the UNIFSA marks 1 year of recognition into the multinational peacekeeping force. Okay.
So,
another story in Punch.
No, go on.
The federal government on Wednesday, maybe they heard us a little when we talked about the census, postponed the 2023 population and housing census, earlier scheduled for March 29th. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, revealed this at the State House Correspondent after they had their weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. And they said that it became necessary for the postponement. That's the INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, last Wednesday, because of the rescheduling of the governorship election. That's one of the things that affected this postponement. And they said the council approved 2.8 billion for the National Population Commission to procure software to be deployed for the census. There was still a memo sent out because they said they needed to get this particular software for this year's census. And because of that and the elections, they have not sorted it out. So they have moved it now to May. I just wish that they can move it to maybe like next year. Let's finish with the elections and all the issues that come with it. Yeah, to May, yes. It was supposed to be for March 29th.
So what happens if they do a census?
Can they just do it after the elections? After the new admission comes in?
Yes, can it even be next year? That's what I'm even saying.
Anyways,
what happens if you are not in the country when they do a census? So
My
you are
sister,
not part of the country.
I don't know.
It's not a hot topic. Let's talk about it.
I'm just asking. Okay, I was going to take the Lagos State Ministry of Education has summoned the principal of the Odumola Junior Secondary School because Mr. Barinada had put up a video where his daughter had been given an exit policy, exit paper, and he says that it was because she was using a Peter Obi book, and so the Commissioner for Education has called the principal. She wants to investigate and find out because she says the Lagos State, the educational system is not political and they should not, you know,
carry that out on children.
Yeah, you can't carry it out. So she's investigating and we'll find out whether it's true or not.
Okay. So political parties are warning INEC that the issue that happened, all those that BVAS is not the IREV is not uploading or BVAS isn't working, mustn't happen again. The INEC commissioner explained that out of 18 political parties that register in the country, only 17 field candidates participate in the House of Assembly elections, and that they are ready. They also, INEC also has commenced the deployment of all sensitive materials across Lagos, Sokoto, Ondo, Ekiti, Edo, Kebbi, Bauchi, Osun, and several other states 3 days ahead of the exercise, that everything will be ready. 20 local government areas had electoral offices already on ground, and they are showing that everything is on ground, though the parties are also still worried that they don't want any technical issues to happen during this Saturday's election, and we're expecting the best.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to move on now to Daily Sun. INEC, PDP reached truce on inspection. Litigation, we're with you, Ohaneze tells Obi. APC leadership crisis festers. Again, 10 killed in Zango, Kataf. Fuel subsidy, government yet to harmonize discussions on palliatives, says Agba. FG shifts population census to May. Aggrieved residents shut down AAU Ekpoma. Guba polls, INEC begins distribution of sensitive materials nationwide. Okay, which story are we starting with in the nation?
Aggrieved the residents of Ekpoma yesterday shut down the Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, Edo State, to protest poor administration of the institution. And they were also calling on the government to sack Austin Osakwe, a member of the special intervention team. The protesters were carrying placards, various inscriptions. They were calling on the government to find a quick solution to the problem, which is, capable of throwing the town into anarchy. They said the management of the school seems to be incapable of running the institution, that they had sacked lecturers at this time where people are not supposed to be sacked. And it's been from one problem to another since this particular management took over. And so they, as indigents, will not just sit back and allow things to scatter. And that's why they are carrying out this protest, so that the government is aware of what is happening. However, the Edo State House of Assembly Speaker Marcus Onobu was at the scene of the protest, and he was urging protesters to be calm, assuring them that the sacked lecturers their sack has been reversed by the government, and they will find a way, that the government of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki as the governor, will find a way to sit with them and find out exactly what is happening. That whatever changes they are going to make will be for the good, for the greater good of the university and the people of Ishan, Edo, and Ekpoma people.
Okay, so I was going to take the PDP was saying yesterday they had withdrawn. Initially, if you recall, they had gone to court to challenge the reluctance of INEC to obey the court order for the PDP and Article to actually inspect the ballot papers. So what they are saying, according to their motion, they had actually compelled the court to ensure, asked the court to compel the INEC to ensure that the sanctity and the propriety of the documentary and electronic evidence to the INEC is enable them to maintain election petition in challenging the result of the elections. And according to them, they had to withdraw that because when they went there and they saw that actually the sorting out was fine with them, they had to withdraw that application to the court. Also, LP, on the other hand, also have continued inspection of the election materials used for the polls, and the exercise began on Monday. I think APC also too has their own representatives. So pretty much all the parties are now inspecting the ballot papers to make sure there are no discrepancies and to monitor all the materials that have been uploaded on the IREV towards the appearances in court coming up as the petitions have been taken to courts. Any other story?
So yes, I want to take the story, sad story of killings of 10 people. This is after 70 people were killed in the Zango Kataf community of Kaduna State in southern Kaduna. The deputy governor sent delegations to visit the community. 10 people were killed, 4 were injured, and it is sad because according to the chairman of the Zango Kataf, Francis Sani, who confirmed the incident, said that people have lost confidence in the police because the military were on ground. He said, while we have a lot of people missing, the people have lost confidence in the military because the persistent attack, and instead of the military protecting the people, the military are supervising the killings. This is according to the chairman of the Zango Kataf area. The deputy governor of Kaduna, Dr. Adiza Sabuwa Balarabe, already sent delegation to investigate, commiserate with those who lost their lives. But it's just so sad that incessant killings are taking place within this community, and people should just learn to live peacefully with one another.
Vanguard, Buhari silence on allegations against INEC dangerous. War in APC over poll funds as Omisore sues for 500 million naira. Akure Market Fire, Sanwo-Olu donates 100 million naira to compensate victims. Fuel subsidy, FG states yet to harmonize ahead of June deadline. Emefiele advises central bankers on industry stability. 2 days to polls, candidates, parties bicker over violence, rigging, and apathy. Okay, which story are we taking?
The fuel subsidy issue. So we know that earlier this year, this current administration had promised that they would take out subsidy from June 2023. And they had to earmark 3.35 trillion on petrol subsidies from January till June 2023, which they put under the 2022-2023 medium-term expenditure framework. However, we're now hearing just about 3.5 months to the time that they will take out the subsidy, that they are yet to harmonize positions of various interest groups on the palliative measures for the citizens. So the plan was we take out the subsidy and then we use the money that we're supposed to use to pay subsidy to help Nigerians become better. So they have been meeting, I think the Vice President Osibajo has been the one chairing the meeting. They've been meeting with different stakeholders, trying to see how they can settle out the type of palliatives they want to give to the citizens. And that's, they are still in talks to have that sorted. And that's why we cannot have the subsidy taken out yet. But this is not June, so let's just be hopeful that they'll be able to sort it out before we may start looking for money, extra money to pay for the subsidy if they don't take it out in June.
Okay, another story in Vanguard.
They can wait to take out subsidy in June, but they cannot wait to do census after June. Please, let's discuss Emefiele. Emefiele is giving advice. So after the entire Nigeria is yabbing him and he finally considered, the governor, Emefiele, was speaking to all the governors of central bank across African countries. They were in Johannesburg for 2023 African Central Bank Conference. And while he was there addressing the issue that happened with Silicon Valley Bank, and the fact that the people are saying it might trigger a global banking crisis or recession, that every country should go back and recheck their, rejig their regulations, like he's doing in Nigeria. Okay, so according to him, regulators must be alive to their responsibilities and the fact that they must protect investors' funds. Currently, if we have a bank shut down, people's money, if you put in money, gone. You don't get everything. You get just the insurance only covers a little fraction. So we need the CBN to come back to this country and come and re-win people's trust and increase people's trust in the banking system, not giving conversations abroad. The system right now.
I don't understand. If already we are not even in that crisis and we cannot get our money from the bank.
We know our money is in the bank. The bank has
we do not know nothing.
We do not know.
Go and
know
try.
Nothing.
If I go and get your money now, if you know it's there.
Yes, go and get it. Maybe I went the other time, I could not access my money.
Which money? If you have 5 million, they'll tell you can get 20,000.
From 5 million.
That means your money is not there. Your money is hanging. It's in iCloud. DSS has arraigned 4 suspected terrorists in Ogun State, and they've asked the judge to grant them an ex parte motion to keep them in custody till they can gather more evidence. And
it's good to get that story, because we always think that when they capture terrorists, nothing happens. So it's good to know that DSS actually took this case to court and that have been arraigned. That's good news.
They were arraigned for terrorism and kidnapping. Aliyu Abubakar Usman, Abu Baba Amadu, and Adamu Aliyu. They were arrested on the 9th of December 2022. So the judge has granted the motion and they're in custody till April 17th when the DSS comes with more information.
I actually wanted to take this sports story because I hardly take sports story, but
did you read it?
I read it and I'm still trying to understand it. Edward warns Usman he's going to knock him out again. So there's a bout happening this weekend, and it's
boxing, right?
Boxing,
okay.
And they are saying that he's going to knock him out.
Please stick to your area.
So let me just try sports. Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story we've not taken. Olunloyo Ladoja's wife, Shinopela, drum up support for Makinde. FG shifts population census to May. 3 months to petrol subsidy removal. FG yet to finalize palliative, says minister. Aquarium markets on Olu compensates traders. Use Saturday's poll to express anger over sham February 25th election. Article says in broadcast. Inflation rate hits 21% amid Naira scarcity. And Ladoja to Oyo State voters. Okay, that's okay. That's a tutorial. Yeah. Okay.
Just INEC saying that they are ready to conduct the Saturday's governorship elections and the State House of Assembly in some states. And they are also saying that the bimodal vital voter accreditation flotation system, that's BVAS. The machine has been reconfigured and will be deployed for the exercise. So they've started distributing sensitive materials to different poles across the state ahead of Saturday. And they're hoping that everything will go well. They're promising that the BVAS will work well. You know, this Saturday, people need to be hopeful. People are already receiving, you know, the sensitive materials in readiness for the election. Basically. So they mentioned the states that they had, you know, hopeful. We have to be hopeful. The states that they had given out the sensitive material. So
you know, yesterday when I was interviewing Fashola, I said, I pray for someone. He said, is this your prayer thing? Forget this prayer thing. What we need are your votes.
Yeah.
Don't be hopeful.
Yeah,
Come
just
out
go
and vote.
Yes. And I think people should go out and vote.
Yes, people should go out and vote. All right. I was going to take the story. Have you taken this story? Back in days, Olunloyo. No. So the former governor of Oyo State, Olunloyo, has described the Seyi Makinde administration as excellent, calling on residents of the state to vote for him in the second term. He was speaking at the Splash FM program on Wednesday, where he said that he has seen a lot of innovations on the part of Governor Makinde, and that he would want a continuity for him for another 4 years. Olunloyo particularly charged Adelabu's team to team up with Makinde for Saturday's election and bid his time to achieve his ambition to be governor. I think quite a number of people also have shown support for Makinde, but as we said, it's going to be rather an interesting election in both state Lagos and Oyo State. Everybody's just waiting for those two states.
As in, I want to take the story on inflation. We've been skipping it in all the papers. The inflation rate in Nigeria has gone up again, and I don't know, the percentage that the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics is reporting is really, really fractional, like from 21.91% from what it was before, which is 21.82%. But the reality is that we are feeling a huge shift in consumer goods prices. He said the contribution, the class of basic items that contributed to the increase in the headline index of inflation index is the bread and cereal, which is like everybody that has a child has bread and cereal, and the prices have gone up 6.7%. They also said there was increase in potatoes, yam, and other tubers by 6%, and vegetables by 5%, meat by 4%. These are everyday consumables going up, making life even more difficult for Nigerians.
They need to go.
I cannot wait for the next 3 months when they say they want to remove subsidy, because what will happen to goods?
Okay,
these people need to go to the market themselves, not textbook. This one is textbook. Something I bought 800 Naira now is almost 1,006. Is that not 50%?
Well,
it's 1,006. They better go and calculate it like that. I bought 15,000 for 11,005.
That's all we can take.
I paid 15,000. I got 11,005.
That is all we can take.
Sorry, why?
Nonsense.
On front page.
Nonsense, people.